Hello and welcome to Telegraph Studio. I'm Alistair Green and today we're talking about how businesses can ensure all their locations perform at their best. And joining me is Cheryl Flink from Market Force Information. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure because it's really fascinating that you see in all these libraries they're full of the science of measurement. But at the end of the day, what are the biggest challenges? If you could just sum them up as a few, what are the biggest challenges today?
If you were a CEO and I was talking to you, I would say there's really three things. What is it that I should be measuring? What are the metrics? The second thing would be, how do I get insights from that data? What do I need to understand about it? And the third thing would be, how do I take action? How do I drive change as that CEO?
This all sounds very scientific. So what exactly is the science of collecting data?
Two things, operational excellence and customer satisfaction. At the end of the day, is every location that you have in your brand performing to your brand standards and delivering on the brand promise? And the second thing is, if you do those good things, are my customers delighted? Will they return and refer, and most importantly, spend a little more money with you?
You've implied in there that it's the questioning that drives results. That therefore begs the question, how do you choose who to ask?
You really need to ask two audiences. You need to understand what your consumers are saying through many different venues, social media, through surveys, for all kinds of ways of understanding what they want to say to you. The second thing is, you need to understand what your employees are doing and what they're saying. So employee engagement and how well they perform against your expectations.
Once you've got all this information, how do you then turn that into results?
I think the most important thing is to have predictive analytics. You are creating some sort of algorithm to say what matters most. If I pull those triggers, what will happen to the thing that I care about? Whether that is my same-store sales, my revenue per available room, whatever that might be. I'm really looking to understand what should I be doing to drive the outcome that I want.
Is the methodology behind this then, the science of this, is it the same for everybody? Is it a one-size-fits-all?
I would say yes and no. The equation is actually the same for everybody. I am looking to understand within a vertical whether I am delivering on the things that I care about, my operational brand standards, that I'm delighting my customers, and that I'm moving the needle for my money markers, my KPIs for money. And that equation is the same for everyone, whether I am looking at a restaurant and same-store comparable sales, so how much money do I make year over year? And it is also true for conversion rate in retail. With conversion rate, I am looking at, if I have 4 people come into the store, do all 4 of them buy, or does only 1 of them buy? And what's the difference?
Let's say I'm a struggling business and I decide I'm going to come to you at Market Force Information and get you to help me. Talk me through the procedure. What's actually going to happen when I come to you?
We're going to come in and evaluate you. So we'll be looking very closely at what you're collecting data on, how you're integrating that data into a platform so the various users of that data really can see and understand what to do with it. We'll be looking at whether you've leveraged the data, and by that I mean you've created a model where you are able to understand what you should be doing with that data. You can't just collect it for collecting it and do nothing with it. And finally, how you are empowering your teams to really use that data and work with it.
Now, my business is changing all the time. Different things happen and so on. Once I've chosen this model, how can I be sure that as my business changes in the next 3 to 5 years, that this model is actually sustainable?
You absolutely must continue measuring. But the measuring system needs to be flexible. Your business is going to change. Your consumers will change. The number of sites that you have will hopefully be growing. You'll be opening more stores, more locations. The needs of your consumers and your product lines are going to change. And so you need to be able to flex and be able to change your system of measurement to match the business needs.
Let's talk a bit more about your company. What would you say are the values that you bring to the table?
I think, again, three things. One is simply data collection. The data has to be of very high quality, have a lot of integrity. If it doesn't, people question it. So we have high quality data collection around auditors, mystery shoppers, others who are really trying to understand what's going on in your business. We also collect a lot of information from consumers about what they think about their experiences. The second thing is we have built that single pane of glass. You can put many data streams in the same place and really use it to understand and make business decisions. And then the third thing is we have a really, really great analytics team, and they create some extraordinary predictive models that are able to show what you should do to make more money.
We know that data is becoming a bigger and bigger subject. The pressures on businesses are growing more and more. Let's look towards the future a little bit. Where do you see those trends heading? What should we be looking for, say, in the next 5 years or so?
I think the issue with big data is finding the needle in the haystack. What, out of all the things that I can measure, what's important to my business? And so continuing to focus and hone in. A lot of CEOs are really confused by big data. It's a term that people throws around. What does it mean? What do I do with it? And the answer is finding the needle in the haystack out of all the things that are happening that really have an impact on your business. And that takes some time.
Well, the future certainly looks very exciting and more scientific. It's been great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time. Cheryl Flink from Market Force Information. Thank you.
Thank you.